let's go ahead and start this. It says everything is healthy. It's picking up the mics this time. I did the test to make sure that it would do that we could have the audio that we could listen to. It says I'm live.
Yeah.
Thanks, YouTube.
We are Xbox Live.
We are Xbox Live. And apparently, yes, because Penn and Barbara have already said it lives.
It's alive.
It's alive. Greetings. Stay a while and listen. I think I'm in frame. If not, let me move Bones over a little bit, and I will scoot over just a little bit. I'm pretty sure.
You can put your hands down, Mr. Bones. You've said hi to everyone.
Bones. Greetings. It's the end of September. This year is both going by at an alarming rate and so freaking slow. I don't like it. I don't like it one bit. But also, yesterday was the 25th anniversary of the launch of the N64 in North America. And now I just feel old.
Yeah, so which do you like less? The speed at which the year is going by, or the fact that the SNES is 30?
You know, neither. I like neither of these things. So we're starting off with some Pokemon Snap. Manifestation of Xbox Live would be like slur sound. Jesus. So, yes. Welcome. No, don't repeat it. Just send me in the bubble. Okay, so the thing that I don't get about the original is like you're on a track. So someone had to build this track.
Yeah.
So it seems kind of silly. It's like, oh yeah, let's just build a track, and Pokemon. It's like if you build it, they will come.
Well, I mean, the thing is, Pokemon are intelligent. They're not, wild animals that, are just, inherently fearful of tracks or anything. They're just,
Are we sure about that?
Pretty sure, yeah.
Lapras! Snorlax crotch! I love how it's no idea, because he's asleep, so you don't know. There's a Meow. Look at him. Look at his dopey little face. Dopey face. More butter. So many Butterfree.
There's another Lapras to your right.
Is there?
Well, there should be. Maybe we missed it already. Oh, no, there you go. The Lapras are on a trigger. If you take a picture of the first one, the next one shows up. If you take a picture of that one, the next one shows up.
Ah, I didn't know that. I mean, I also have not played a lot of Pokemon Snap.
Yeah.
Did get the Doduo that time.
This game has a lot of just weird cause and effect things.
Is that a what is that?
It's a Chansey.
Oh, that's a Chansey.
More Lapras to your right. If we didn't already miss it, maybe.
I may have missed it.
But yeah, this game has a lot of weird cause and effect stuff that you just kind of have to experiment to try and figure out. And the new Pokemon Snap game has even more.
I was wondering what the new Pokemon Snap game actually kind of brought to the table. I have the Switch Pokemon Snap. I really like it. I actually want to get the Switch version. 4 pictures of Pidgey have been taken.
If you press left and right, it'll cycle just between the Pidgey pictures. So probably the first one? Yeah.
Five pictures of the... Oh, he did get caught in it.
Probably either 4 or 5. The problem with the earlier ones is that even though he's looking at the camera, he's facing away from it.
Yeah. Butterfree. That works.
Yeah, it's not centered, but close enough. It's not a bad picture of Eevee.
Eevee. And that was a terrible picture of Kangaskhan. But okay, sure.
Did we miss one?
Oh, Pikachu. There we go. To Professor Oak.
Yes.
Yeah. Give me a rating. How's the technique? I can double the score for you.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
Yeah, probably the tutorial Pidgey picture is going to be our highest points.
Probably.
And not in the center.
You were close.
It's a relaxed pose.
Wow.
There are other lappers in the picture.
You were close.
Oh, that one was from behind too.
Wonderful.
That's actually a lot higher than I
You were
was.
close.
That's about what I was expecting.
Wait.
Listen here, Todd. Good luck, Todd. Yep, Pidgey was the highest. Let's go to course.
Yeah.
We're going to a tunnel.
Yes.
Teleportation.
You missed the beat.
Yep. I forgot that I had to zoom in to, I can't just take pictures on the fly.
Yeah, I think you can do that in the new one. I'm not sure.
That was awful. So many Voltorb.
Those are electrodes.
So... That's a dead one.
It's only fainted. It's fine.
What? What is that?
It's a hunter, I think.
I don't think that's a haunter. Tiny Pikachu off in the distance. Come here. Do something. Where'd you go? Actually, wasn't a bad shot of that Zubat.
There's some Diglett over to your left.
Come on, pop back up. There you go. You little penis worm. Those things creep me out. So many Pokemon creep me out. There's just a lot of these things that are just like, who thought of this? And why?
Well, you know, Japan. They don't like being. They don't like being photographed.
So how do you photograph them? Can you photograph them?
Not currently. Right now, we're still, you know, without really any of our tools.
Hey, go away. You can, in fact, do that in the new one. Aaron, welcome. Oh. Getting sucked into a portal. I don't... I need you to come and take pictures of Pokemon. I've built a track and a teleportation portal. Why haven't you just... Why can't you set up, like, trail cameras? Wouldn't that have been easier than setting up a teleportation device? No, I'm fucking Professor Oak! Teleportation!
We could just use some drone cameras.
Alright, let's see.
That one.
Yeah. That's really the best of the Kakuna that I've got. Oh, it is a Haunter! You can't tell. Because he was just a...
Well, I mean, it's canonically appropriate. Because in the original games, you can't see ghosts without having the Sylph Scope.
Oh.
Which they immediately abandoned it from Gold and Silver onward. But, you know, originally it was a thing that ghosts were mysterious. They've got Zubat and Pikachu on that side.
Where's the Zubat?
Right there.
Oh. Couldn't
Very
see him
tiny.
because of the egg. I already have Pikachu, so I don't really need him. To Professor Oak!
Yes.
I can't wait for... So, I'm a little torn on the N64 games on the Switch. N64 and Genesis are what they announced on the last Direct. But they haven't said how much it's going to cost more. I'm a little disappointed that it's going to cost more, because really, I don't feel that Nintendo's online service is robust enough to charge what they're charging compared to Xbox Live and PSN.
Well, I mean, it's kind of hard to compare them because Xbox Live and PSN
Wonderful.
do have more to them, but they also cost more.
This is true.
Like, you know, those are, what, 12, 15 a month, and Nintendo's is 20 a year.
Yeah, I guess it's.
You were close. Wait. You were close. Wonderful.
More. But like also given the frequency in which they've released games on the NES and SNES online, I mean, they have released some interesting games and some ones that I haven't expected, but there's also a lot of games that I'm like, there are a lot that should be here that aren't. I get most of it's probably licensing issues,
Yeah.
but there's also some first-party titles that's like, this should be here by now. Like, just hands down, this should have been here. That was one of the things that always bothered me about the Wii U Virtual Console, is because I remember, like, I was working at GameStop at the time, and I'm like, that was really the best selling point for the Wii, was the Virtual Consoles. Like, yeah, you had to buy the games individually, but they weren't expensive. They really weren't. And there were a ton of games available for consoles that I would not have expected to be on the Wii. Like TurboGrafx 16. I think I am one of the only, I know I'm one of the only people I know personally who've ever owned a TurboGrafx 16. I have never met another person that's like, yeah, I owned one. I've met a couple of people who've played one, but I've never met anyone that's like, yeah, I actually owned that console. It's like, I remember when my brother bought it, and like, I tried to buy it off of him, but he rather traded it for a leather jacket. And I kind of want to beat him with a stick for that one now, especially considering how expensive they are. But my argument fell so flat toward the end of the Wii life cycle, not because it's the end of the console life cycle, but because several licenses were expiring. You wouldn't be able to buy those games even after they transitioned to the Wii U. Most notably, the Donkey Kong Country games, because the license with Rare expired because Rare had just got bought by Microsoft at that point.
Yeah.
So like, that is one thing. Like, I loathe licensing. It is one of those things. Like, I understand, you know, as a content creator and things, like, you want to be able to protect your creations, but the way we have copyright and licensing laws are just crazy to me. That so much of this can just be completely abused. Mostly, like Harmony Gold. I don't know if you're familiar with them. They're the company that owned, being the key word, the rights to Macross here in the U.S.
Right.
for a really long time, and they would sue anyone and everyone. Like, they would never release a damn thing. They would just sue people. That's how they made their money. Like, they didn't release DVDs or anything. Nope, we own the rights to this. So I remember when BattleTech was coming back to the PC as a strategy game. They're like, we have redesigned versions of these unseen mechs, which were directly ripped from Macross. But because of a licensing issue in the 80s, they thought they had the rights. They didn't. It became a huge mess. And so there's an entire group of BattleTech mechs called the Unseen, and my namesake is one of them. But like, they've redesigned these mechs to fall within, you know, a transformative use, and Harmony Gold still took them to court. Like, you don't own the rights to bipedal mechs. Like, you just don't. But apparently Harmony Gold kind of overstepped their bounds a lot, and a judge ended up saying, no, you're losing, like, you have until this date, then you lose the rights. And they will revert back to the original rights holders. So eventually, I think next year, we're actually finally getting a Macross release. And then technically at that point, I think the unseen mechs could come back as their unseen versions. I'm not 100% sure. There was a lawyer on YouTube that was discussing all of it, and I haven't seen any follow-up with it, but I'd love to see, like, I'd honestly love to see the original unseen mechs come back. The Marauder, the Shadowhawk, the Wasp, all of those would just make really fantastic additions. Not that I'm biased and really love the Marauder or anything, but, you know, totally biased.
Yeah. I mean, all the copyright stuff basically boils down to, you know, the mouse and Lars Ulrich wanting to, you know, set the law.
We've shown you the Metallica cock ring video, right?
Maybe.
It's old school Flash animation of Lars Ulrich, and I forget one of the other band members from Metallica, but he's being presented as like this giant hulking idiot, and Lars is like this little flea of a guy, and he's just like, it's like, yeah, we'll take anyone to court for Napster. We'll take anyone. You have to buy, you know, genuine Metallica merchandise, genuine Metallica CDs, genuine Metallica, you know, posters, genuine Metallica cock rings. Like, it just goes off the rails. And like the other guy is just like, it's like, you don't like it, we'll fire you. And the other guy's like, fire bad. And it's like, then after the genuine Metallica cock rings, like, cock rings good. Just like, and like Lars is like crawling around the screen like a cockroach. The whole thing is just insane. Yesterday I had to reconnect the white strip on the Sega Saturn. Oh, the flat data ribbon cable. Yeah, I didn't like having to. The Rhea that I've got, I didn't like having to fold that. I don't like folding flat ribbon cables because it's like, I know they can be folded once, but at the same time, like that one fold, it just feels like, well, that's dead. I've snapped this. What else should we? What should be next? What would you like to play? I'll hand you the controller. Pick something. Pick a game, any game. I've got a bunch.
What's like a good? Let's play some Star Fox.
Star Fox. I can't let you do that, Star Fox.
Yeah. Not quite a launch game, but, you know, close. It was
Close
like
enough, yeah.
a year-ish.
It was within what they like to call now the launch window. This is really one of the games that kind of sold me on the N64. I never owned an N64 during the console's lifespan, but this and Mario 64 is like, okay, this is why this console is still a contender, because these are really interesting. I am actually really disappointed. I would have loved to see, like, if the N64 used CDs instead of cartridges, we still would have gotten Final Fantasy VII on a Nintendo console. And I would have loved to see how that would have been different, if anything. I'm very curious. Fucking bird.
I mean, Star Fox was, you know, kind of innovative in a couple ways. Like, aside from just like the gameplay and the graphics and all that, you know, it was one of the first games that really like did full voice acting and took it seriously.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you had voice acting for this, but it was bad.
Shining Force 3. Now fare my Arctic Blast.
And And then, you know, it was the first, or I'm pretty sure it was the first like home game to have force feedback,
Yeah.
which, you know, it came with the Rumble Pack initially in the giant ass box.
Yeah. I don't know if I have Star Fox 2 on this machine. I'm pretty sure I do. I'll have to check later. We'll never know how far they got their system design outright for the early FF and N64 screens. So, and what gets me is, I can almost guarantee you there's someone at Nintendo and there's someone at Sega, just, especially Sega, just outright kicking themselves. Because, you know, at the time you had Sony, who went to both of them and was like, please, sir, can we make a console with you? And they're both like, peasant, begone. And then they're like, fine, I'll make my own console with blackjack and hookers. And lo and behold, they made their own console with blackjack and hookers.
Flippy here. I'm okay.
No, you're not, Slippy. Shut up. Goddamn frog.
Let's rock and roll.
Yeah. I went through and I rewatched all of the something about game or something about videos from Terminal Montage, and there's just so much of that I'm just like, that's so brilliant.
Whoa! Help me! Thanks, Fox. I thought they had me.
If only they had you. Double bad for Nintendo, given they screwed them over earlier with the SNES CD. I mean,
Corneria City now.
I still love seeing the Nintendo PlayStation, or the whatever the hell prototype is that it's called. It's like, it's just one of those. It makes me so happy to see that, and that it's, you know, it's still in existence. But, you know, it also just kind of pisses me off, like, this could have been something really cool, and it's not.
This is so hard to play without the C buttons being buttons.
I'll take this. Get the one behind me. Something's wrong with the G diffuser.
It's your flying, Falco, you suck.
I could use some help here.
Frog said something to me tonight.
I guess
Okay,
it could be
so I'm pretty sure I've told the story before, but one time we went to visit Luth in Virginia, and we went to eat at Pizza Hut, which is where Luth's significant other was working at the time. And
Pretty smooth flying, Fox.
we were like, it was basically to see her, because like we were only in town for like a couple of hours.
Follow me, Fox.
And we're sitting there talking, and Luth had just, like, his son was like maybe 8 months old, like not old at all, like his newborn son sitting there, and we're sitting there talking, and Luth's telling us the story about how he saw a website of white power milk, which was basically milk gargled by women who could trace their lineage back and prove that it was Aryan.
Running at me from the rear. Drop altitude.
And it wasn't even their milk. It wasn't like their breast milk. They were just gargling normal milk. And like Luth's telling us this ridiculous ass story about this, and like there's a guy across the restaurant just like, you all ain't know nothing about no white power. Like he's sitting here like interjecting into our conversation, not knowing what we're actually talking about. And we're just like, okay, we're gonna ignore him. And then we start talking about Star Fox, because if you look at any of the promotional art for the games, all of Star Fox's crew have metal legs, and that's not originally the original design was that wasn't like armor. They had prosthetic legs. Because the concept to it is fighter pilots, if they're pulling excessive G-forces, all of the blood goes into your legs. So the concept was if they didn't have legs, and this is like an actual thing, like there are, some studies, it's like any, fighter pilot should have prosthetic legs, because then there's not that space in your body for the blood to go, and so you can withstand more G-forces.
You're becoming more like your father.
Which is a dark concept to be like, well, let me cut off my limbs so that I can be a better fighter pilot. And so we're sitting here talking about that, and the guy over there is just like, you kids don't know nothing about. My brother lost his limbs, and so he was just going off, and like he comes over and like standing at our table asking us why we're talking about disrespecting soul. I was like, okay, hey, dude, we're talking about a fucking space fox. Like, we are not talking anything realistic at all. Like, we're talking about the physics and biology behind a concept for a video game involving a fox, a rabbit, a frog, and a bird in space.
Yes, and they're riding a horse inside of a head.
Oh my god. I showed that to Amber, and she's like, no, that's not real. And like the next day, I'm like, do you remember me showing you this? She's like, yes, I do. I was hoping that I would have blocked it out since sleeping, because it didn't make any sense then. It doesn't make any sense now. But for those of you at home following, it's the ending of G Gundam. It's a guy and a girl on a horse inside of a Gundam, riding a horse that is also a Gundam inside of a giant head flying through space. They have their normal legs, though. They don't have robot legs, nor do they gargle white power milk.
It's quiet. Too quiet.
I mean, do they also, like, do they have G-forces in their, like, weird, choreography piloting system?
I don't know. They talk about the G diffuser. I assume that's something to do with either gravity or G-force or inertia. That was one of the things that always kind of bothered me about Star Trek. They had the most wonderful bullshit technology of the inertial dampener, which was basically, this is the only way we can go faster than light without pancaking on the wall behind us as soon as we hit the accelerate button. But it was just...
Use the boost to get through.
I'm not trying to press up.
Income. Location confirmed. Sending supplies.
Send the supplies, Rob.
Watch out, Fox.
There we go.
Dicks, they just ran up right behind you. I feel like this conversation got away from all of us at some point. I mean, this is a conversation I had in public with Luth. Granted, any conversation I have with Luth in public or private is one that I feel gets away from me very quickly.
Not wrong.
I love Luth. I really do. I have to say, your humor and his humor are two of the people that like just never fail to make me just lose my shit completely. I was telling Libet about what you said the other day. I watched an anime. I say anime because it's all 3D. It's not actually animation. It's all CG.
I guess it's your turn to be thankful.
Called Infinity Force. And the only reason why I watched it is because it has the original Tekkaman in it. Which anytime there's Tekkaman or Tekkaman Blade, I feel like I have to, you know, give it some level of support because I really hope for more Tekkaman Blade in the future. But as I'm sitting here watching it, Kulik comes up and watching with me, and the plot line involves, you know, the villain trying to protect his daughter from fate, basically. And without missing a beat, Helix just looks over at me and is like, you know, say what you will about, you know, villains, but bad guys fuck. It's like, you know, every, like, Disney villains, anime villains, video game villains, they all have some sort of, you know, child that is either, you know, just as powerful or more powerful than they are, or on the opposing side. There's always it's like bad guys fuck and have children, whereas heroes just don't seem to have anything until the sequel. Jeez, that's a lot of bombs. T-Force is good and oddly complicated. It is. I enjoyed it. And it's just one of those, as soon as I watched it, I'm like, I'm not even 10 minutes into the episode. I haven't heard any of the voice actors yet. I'm like, which one of these people is going to be voiced by Johnny Youngbosh? Lo and behold, it's Ken the Eagle. Like, I swear, at this point, he's just going to voice every main character. He's Zero, he's Ken the Eagle. He's just going to cover the Capcom and Tatsunoko gambit. So if they ever re-release Tatsunoko versus Capcom, just every character could be voiced by Johnny Youngbosh.
Yeah. It'll just be renamed Johnny Young Bosch versus Wendy Lee.
When bad guys get more action than here. I mean, they do.
Ready to go to Independence Day? So, I mean, that's what the Katina stage is. It's just Independence Day.
Are you going to pull a, hello you alien assholes, I'm back? And now all I can think of is Aaron going off on a complete tangent about Randy Quaid being batshit crazy. Evil is sexy. I think there's evil. Yeah, that's.
Hang on, guys.
Yeah.
Help is on the way.
I think Ripley Scott's gonna sue a bitch.
Fox, you made it.
Oh God.
Is that you?
I also really miss Team 4-Star doing Dragon Ball Z Abridged. Because, like, so much of that was just pure fucking gold. Because Piccolo was basically saying what we were all thinking in that scene. Frieza's first form, Frieza's second form, Frieza's fourth and final form. What about the third form? I think Ridley Scott's gonna sue a bitch. Great. Who wants to be a good guy when being evil is so much more fun? And you get lit. I mean,
Enemy down. Wait, that was one of ours!
Free from moralistic consequences and sex?
Mothership approaching!
This is why everyone plays the rogue or the bard in D&D.
That's one of ours! Fuck, that's one of ours!
Shut up, Bill.
Husky unit, cover the bank.
I'll shoot everyone down. Hand foe.
No one will survive.
I'll shoot you down, Bill.
Man, there's just no end to these guys.
Can you kill Bill?
No, you cannot kill Bill. Not till the sequel.
Is anyone going to play the Castlevania Advance Collection? I'm probably not going to get it because I have all of the games on this. But I know Pat's going to buy it because Pat has been really interested in playing Castlevania Dracula X. And he has a SNES, but buying the SNES copy of that, you know,
Hey, Einstein, I'm on your side.
it's expensive. And he only has 2 kidneys.
The hatches are open.
So he's like, yeah, I'll totally pick that up.
Big idea.
No remorse for killing allies. I mean,
Cover the bank.
rogue, bard, druid can get away with shit and have sex.
Enemy down.
We were watching a bunch of D&D related TikToks, and okay, what the fuck is up with the cleric who's constantly throwing back water, the holy water? What is up with that? I missed that bit altogether. I mean, it's hilarious to watch, but I just don't understand the context.
Hatches are open.
Yeah, I don't
Get
know.
off, Hawk.
I might because I have it on GB and emulator, but Switch has the remake of ActRaiser, I kind of want to pick that up. I watched, there's someone that I'm subscribed to, I believe it was Atma, who was playing it the day, like he was live streaming it the day it came out. It has a few changes to it that I'm not 100% sold on. But I'm curious. I want to give it a shot. I'm also kind of curious to see if it's going to get a limited run games
The hatches are open.
release. Because that was the thing about most of those games. Like, so many of those games
Knock it off.
were like, this is digital only.
Knock it off.
The Castlevania collection is digital only. ActRaiser was digital only. The Shadowrun collection that's coming out is probably going to be digital only. And that disappoints me because I like me some physical games. You know, I just bought
Man, there's just
this
no end to these guys.
because Limited Run Games did a collector's edition of Monster Boy and the Cursed Kingdom, and I didn't pick up Monster Boy physically in time, and apparently they discontinued the physical production of it. So for like a while, just the regular physical game was selling for like $120. And then Limited Run Games was just like, hey, we're going to release a collector's edition for $99 that's got the game, stickers, soundtrack, booklet, instruction manual, and a cloth map. And I'm sitting here going, I could buy the digital game for $40. The digital game was still $40. It was $39.99 for the longest time. I could spend $120 on just the game, or I could buy it. And fuck, I'm gonna buy this. So I bought this. Switch ActRaiser has issues, so I guess they can update.
The core has appeared. Stand by to attack.
I've had Shadowrun. I've never played Shadow. So I've only played the Genesis version of Shadowrun, which is it's actually really good. Pat has and loves the SNES version, which is very different than the Genesis version. But the new Shadowrun Returns it was originally on PC. It is a turn-based tactical-esque game, kind of like
Like XCOM.
XCOM, yeah. But it also has a lot of non-combat related features that fall into the Shadowrun universe, which I gotta say, the Shadowrun universe is one of the coolest universes for any sort of tabletop RPG.
If I help you again.
I love the lore to that. I have so many of the books because the lore to that is just super interesting, and it kind of made me wish that, you know, I think it was supposed to be 2016 when Magic came back to Earth, according to the Shadowrun
I
timeline.
think it was 2012.
Was it 2012?
Because of the whole Mayan calendar thing.
Yeah. But they're like, magic comes back to Earth, and so, like, certain groups are super powerful now. And welcome back to Independence Day.
Yeah.
Woo! So, like, the Native Americans were one of the first to get magic back because shamanistic magic was one of the first ones to come back. And so they're like, well, looks like we're taking back over the United States.
Don't get down, Fox.
I like how, you know, hundreds, thousands of people just died. And Fox goes, dang.
Mission complete.
Don't get so down, Fox.
Hundreds of thousands of people died. Well, Slippy died.
So do you want to switch, or?
Yeah, let's look and see what game we've got next, because, you know, see what we've got. One thing I haven't put on here is the Super Mario 64 co-op, because I don't know if I have a standalone ROM for that.
Yeah. There's also the question of how well the emulator would run it.
Yeah.
It's like, I know when we were trying to get it set up on the Wii, the Wii's emulator or injector, however that works, didn't work on its own, but somebody made like a standalone, like, actual install for it for the Wii.
Yeah.
So that's what we ended up using for that.
I got a game you should play on the Switch for Halloween. Pumpkin Jack. I am not familiar with Pumpkin Jack. Play Fighting Force 64. Like, hey, Streets of Rage in 3D. It's terrible. This game is just awful. It's hilarious, but awful. Like, let me see if I can remember how to play this game. Also, this one's still running on Glide. That might be why.
Kinda weird.
Let's see. Let's close that and we'll try it again. See if that. My beloved yet cursed flying dragon. Suppose Emu Magic would allow it to escape the fate of death. No. Like I remember when Fighting Force came out on the PS1, the first one. It was just, I rented it with some friends and we tried playing through it, and like one of my friends kept trying to give me so much. He was like, this is the type of game, like, he was a huge PC gamer at the time, and he's like, this is what you're playing, this is what, like, it was mindless fun. Like it was a bad game, but like worth $8 and an afternoon. All right, come on. Yes, I know Core. They're not around anymore. And that's already very different. There we go. It's got some audio issues.
To see if maybe it fixes itself
Like
once you're actually into gameplay. Like,
Pokemon Snap did.
yeah.
Yeah, Pokemon Snap's FMV, the opening sequence, was just all sorts of janky. I love the level 1, a helicopter. Yeah, nope.
Yeah, it's still a little off.
Let's see. Let's change some options. Thread sync level or there's not a. I guess that's it. Change that, but I thought there was a. Oh, frame rate. That helps a little. Not a lot. Hey guys! Oh god, he's got a gun!
He's also got guns.
Strang. Oh. Oh, hey. Sandwich.
Take that, Eddie.
Money! Money! Dodge roll! Flying kick!
Take that, gravity.
Dex. Well, oh god, he's just...
All of the blood left him at once.
Oh my god, this is awful. Listen here, Chuck, stop blocking my attacks and just die. Oh, he's got a gun. I don't know what he's got, but...
Now I have a machine gun. Oh.
Junior.
Is that a katana?
I don't know. It's not letting me pick up. We did get a Forsaken Super Remaster all these years, perhaps Fighting Force 2. We've played Medieval on the PS1. Oh, okay. I think I played Medieval Resurrection last Halloween. Would you, sir?
Sir? Excuse me, sir.
Sir, this is a Wendy's. I was hoping that the soda would heal me, but apparently not. Oh, yeah, I actually have to pick it up. You want a piece of me, janitor?
Sandwiches you can consume by walking over them. Soda has to be drunk with your face.
I love how the janitors are getting involved in this. Like, obviously, these guys must pay a lot. Isn't that right, Phil? Spanner. Ooh. What that?
They apparently pay in gold bars, so.
Did you just punch me in the back? Hot dog? Who names their child Hot Dog? Twinkie Wiener sandwiches. I feel like I'm supposed to break that wall.
Pretty sturdy wall.
Just run around. Oh. Oh, hey. Sandwich. Bomb. Kick it open.
Nothing in that one. Oh no, they've got guns.
Is that more ammo? No, it's a fucking grenade. Well, there was the grenade. Oh, and the gun is on the wrong side of the invisible barrier, so I don't have that anymore.
You can just take H's gun. He's Triple H's little brother.
Alright. Throw the goddamn weapon. Base kick. Spider kick. Spider punch. Magic kick. Magic punch. I was watching the most recent episode of Game Grumps in Mario RPG playthrough, and they bring back the Spider with a kiss. Jonathan Henderson, Streets of Rage 4. I mean, Fighting Force. Basically, so does that mean technically Streets of Rage 4 is Streets of Rage 5?
Well, I mean,
Well, time for me to put out a fire!
if we want to go by things like that, which Sonic game is Sonic 4 really?
I don't know. I don't want to know. Where are you guys coming from? Ooh, that sumbitch had an axe. That doesn't sound like the Larry that I know. Was it really that good? No, that sumbitch had an axe. 5th floor, menswear.
There's like, he's got a lightsaber.
I watched a death battle today on the death battle. King Mickey versus Master Yoda. And so much of that raised so many questions. A, why would they be fighting? That's one thing about the whole death battle premise. It's like the reasons for them to fight to the death are generally pretty loosely pieced together.
I mean, at the very least, you know, the Goku versus Superman doesn't need a good reason, because, like, it's just canon that Goku will fight someone.
Even if they don't want to fight, Goku's like, you're strong, let's fight! Stop blocking, Jack! Oh god, I am gonna get my ass kicked. Can I break this?
You're incapable of hitting up.
Yep, basically. Oh god! Improvised weapon! Alright, this is just a really watered down version of the elevator fight from Captain America Winter Soldier. Before we begin, does anyone want to get out? Bubba? And Pin beat me to that one.
I mean, granted, this is like a good decade and a half before that, but I still feel like this somehow still ripped off Winter Soldier.
I love how when we're just walking, it's like we're all walking at like the same speed. Like, security's after me.
You know, security's just escorting you to the boss.
Spanner. Oh god, he's got a gun. Did he just set the gun down?
It did, as a trap.
Okay. Alright, kill me. Because I can't throw the goddamn gun. There we go. Alright, let's find something else. Oh lord. That game.
I mean, we could play one of the launch games. Mario 64 or Pilot Wings.
I've never actually played Pilot Wings. How about you give it a shot? Hold my phone, would you, Bones?
Given that this was one of the launch games, used to play it quite a bit. Though a lot of the time it was just like using the bungee boots. I forget what they're called, bungee jumpers maybe, on the Little States map, because it's just like a miniature version of the United States. You can hop around, go to New York, go to like the Washington Monument, go to the Space Needle.
I feel like the audio is a little janky on this too.
Yeah, a little bit.
I have to figure out what the deal is with that. Because this was supposed to be the most accurate.
All right.
It could be that it's widescreen causing it to...
I feel like it's running a little bit slow. I'm not sure though. Music definitely sounds a little
slow,
off.
yeah. I mean, N64 emulation does still have issues. Like, it's...
Gotta circle the target for a second just to lose some speed. One of the things about, you know, playing this game for real and not just kind of dicking off is it can be very particular about you know, scoring. Like, you have to land just right or you'll lose points for the impact, or you'll, you know, be a little bit off the center of the target. Maybe this time I'll try just going straight for the goal ring. Or straight for the landing target.
"10 indie RPGs like Final Fantasy Tactics." I mean, thanks, random article, but I'm pretty sure I'm...
Oh, right, I forgot about that button. Oh. That is a lot more effective than I was expecting.
That was me dying.
I didn't know putting your feet out while, you know, paragliding was just like instant brakes.
I wonder if there's ever a chance we could have had something like Streets of Tobal. I don't know, maybe. However, every time I think of Tobal, I think of Tomba, which is a very different game.
Let's not balls it up. I ballsed it up. We didn't crash.
Indie RPGs cursed to be trying to hate Final Fantasy Tactics and failing off their ass. I mean, not wrong. The image that they had for that article is actually one that I've played and I did a video on. It was Hellenica. I got sent a pre-release copy of that, a pre-release code. It's actually a fairly good tactical RPG. It's not as in-depth as Final Fantasy Tactics. I mean, it has its charms, but you know, it has a lot, like anything in the tactical RPG genre has a lot of big shoes to fill, because you got to go the Final Fantasy Tactics route and try to one-up that. You got to go the Fire Emblem route and try to, you know, one-up that. Or if you're like me, you want to go the Shining Force route and be relatively unknown until 20 years after the series falls off the face of the earth. Tobal 2 was the hype one that never got a chance to be all it could have. You earned a perfect score. Rocket Belt.
All right.
The only thing people know the Rocket Belt from is Smash Bros. Balloon clear. Boom.
You...
You bounced.
Yeah, good enough for passing. But yeah, 0 points for impact.
Axis, you haven't come say hi to the internet yet. Come say hi. Come on.
All right.
Come on, sleepy boy. Hi. Say hi. That's right. Purr into the microphone so that the internet can hear you, beloved boy. Nope. Nope, I know what you're doing, Dad. Yeah. You were purring. That's on camera. He's like, God damn it, now I gotta go chew on something to get... Okay, so now the audio seems fine on this one.
Yeah, I think it was the wind tunnel effect. Not the smoothest of landings, but should be good enough.
Landing accomplished.
Oh, never mind. It was apparently perfect.
Not the smoothest of landings, and that's where they were wrong.
Really, I just want to get... You gotta go through Class A to get the extra games. I just want to shoot myself out of a cannon.
All right.
I can't wait for the Final Fantasy Pixel Remaster to come to the Nintendo Switch. I don't know if it will. Square is kind of a pain when it comes to things like that. If they release something and it goes on PC, it's either it'll show up on consoles far, far later, or it never shows up on consoles. So there would potentially be a chance that it would not show up on the Switch at all. It'd show up on whatever the next console is after the Switch. Like, I'm still waiting on Final Fantasy Tactics to come out on the Switch. Like, there's an iOS version of it, but Square's like, fuck that, we don't like money.
I probably don't need to go to that one tunnel. I can just go to the target.
Ah!
You know, just a little bit off the mark. just a little bit. I got 7 points. Only 39 for the photo, though. That's a shame.
Woo!
You know, I wonder if the camera in this game inspired Pokemon Snap at all.
Quite possibly. The one thing I know about Pilot Wings is the soundtrack is super relaxing. Just like, yeah, I'm gonna fly around. Yeah. Chill.
I'm just gonna fly into this flame. Maybe I should try just staying in this. Nah, I feel like that's bad. I think I overshot.
Yep.
I overshot by a lot.
Yep. I mean, I love for the Pixel remasters to come out on the Switch. I'd also love for Final Fantasy Tactics to come out on the Switch. There's a lot of things I'd love to come out on the Switch, but, you know. Highly doubt they will. Like, I don't think the HD remake of Nights into Dreams came out on the Switch. I don't think that's available. All the FF Pixel remasters have been good, but afflicted somehow or another. Yeah, I've heard that really it's the font, which is kind of a problem Square has with their fonts, because they had the same problem with Chrono Trigger on iOS. It's like, hey, we're going to take this game and we're going to change the font so that it's HD, but the sizing and spacing is going to be all sorts of jacked up. Enjoy! I really like to say I've enjoyed your Let's Play Shining Force 3. Thank you, I'm glad you enjoyed it. I had so much fun playing it. And I will always be grateful to the translation team for A, doing that, and B, letting me test one of the patches. Like, I got to test out one, and they made a special version for me, and it was, I loved it. I'm always going to be grateful for that. So, anytime that Legalized Freedom does anything, like, I'm typically the first one there for it. It's like, so much love for that project. Like, honestly, if I'm ever like, become independently wealthy, and I'm like, I want to open a studio that localizes games, I'd go to people like Legalized Freedom and be like, you know what you're doing. You were able to take this jumbled mess of Sega Saturn code and make it playable. Here's money. Some instances of forgetting character shadows, just weird issues. Interesting. I hadn't heard any of those. Are you going to play the Shining Force mobile game? Yes, I am. I downloaded Puzzle and Dragons to get back into the habit of playing a mobile game regularly. Because I did play a lot of Puzzle and Dragons for a while, and then I stopped. And because I stopped playing mobile games. Because I don't play a lot of games on my phone. Mostly because I use my phone for social media browsing, mostly. Oh my god. Dead.
Yeah, there was a cliff after the last ring. I wasn't quite sure where to go from there.
But so, like right now my battery is sitting at around 44%. And I have been watching YouTube videos and texting people and just, you know, actually using my phone as a communications device rather than a gaming device. And it's taken a hit. I mean, granted, my phone is not new, but if I'm not playing a game on it, I do a little bit better to try to conserve battery on it. So I'm like, okay, let's re-download Puzzle and Dragons, and I've hit a point where it's like, okay, well, I can't do anything else in Puzzle and Dragons because, like, I've hit a point where I need really powerful monsters, and I don't feel like putting the time or effort into doing that. So I'm just going to be stuck here. But I'm keeping it on my phone until Shining Force comes out, and then when Shining Force comes out, I will remove Puzzle and Dragons, and I will add Shining Force, and I'm going to be playing that because I'm curious to see what they're going to do with it. And I'm also hoping that, you know, showing some support for that entices Sega to listen to Camelot. There was an article a while back that the head of Camelot's like, I'd love to do another Shining Force game. I'd love to work with Sega again. It's like, if this mobile game, you know, has a decent enough following, hopefully Sega will be like, yeah, maybe we should let them do that. Because I swear, the best thing Sega has done in the last decade is let other people play with their IPs. Christian Whitehead made a better Sonic game than Sonic Team. Dotemu did a better Streets of Rage game. Like, let's just let people make some really good passion projects. In future Hopeful Studios' first act will may need to be summoning the ghost of Vic Ireland for the secrets of whatever treasures. I mean, Vic is still around. He was doing Gaijin Works, and I don't know what happened to that company. I think it probably went out of business. But like, Vic's still around, and you know, one of these days, someone's gonna be like, all right, Vic, give me the keys to the old working design warehouse. I wanna see what shit you've still got back there. Because every so often, I'll troll eBay and look for some of the stuff. Like, if you ever bought a Working Designs game, like, it came with a little flyer of other merchandise you could buy, like posters and enamel pins and baseball caps and mouse pads. It was all basically just the art from the cover art from the game. But like, there's so much of that stuff that I'm like, I really wish I had spent the money to do the mail order purchase for those, because so much of that shit is worth its weight in gold now. And I guarantee you that Vic Ireland's probably like, yeah, I got a warehouse out in Santa Monica with like a pallet full of that shit.
Speaking of Lil Sates, knowing what I know now about the Hollywood sign, I'm surprised it's in this game.
Yeah. They're very protective of that right. So that's stupidly rare to come across a channel and making any legit proper content for any mobile games that... That's the thing. So I've looked into doing recordings for Android-based stuff, and ironically, for a while, one of the best ways to do it was just get an Ouya and add shit to it. But then after a while, that became not as feasible because you couldn't update the Ouya past a certain version of Android. But now there's so many like mini PC boxes that you can just put an Android OS on and just run that as if it were a device. So I might do something similar to that if I ever wanted to actually Let's Play the Shining Force mobile game. But even that, it would be difficult because it's mostly a gacha. And so like, I know like doing a Let's Play that's going to be real difficult because it's going to be super random. There's never going to be a good way to prepare for it. Like, Keelix and I were talking about my card game, because, you know, aside from me, you've put in the most number of hours on this game than anyone else. Like, and you've probably put in just a hair less number of hours in this game than I have. We were discussing like the coin flips being random. Like, don't like that random aspect because it's like, it's not luck of the draw that's a statistic based. It's just pure happenstance. Like,
yeah, I mean, like for me, I feel like what it boils down to is when you decide to play a card game, there is a certain amount of random chance that you're signing up for, but I feel like flipping coins falls outside of the normal random chance that comes with card games.
yeah. And so like that's kind of how I feel about gacha games. And like I couldn't, there's no way I could plan or prepare a Let's Play for it. Like playing so many other games, like when I did my Let's Play of Grand Kingdom, I played through the demo like 3 times just to get used to it, so that I had an idea of what to expect, and then figure out, okay, what wasn't included in the demo that I need to be able to prepare for. Whereas, you know, or, you know, Battle Chasers was the same way. Figuring out like base mechanics and then, you know, figuring out main strategies as I'm playing the game. But like a gacha game, no way in hell. Like, oh yeah, you get you know, a rare monster. Okay, well, you get a super rare monster. Well, you get an S-class rare monster. It's like, well, it's like the first time you get something like, if I get an S-class on my first run, it's like, okay, I can't really show this off because I'm already a little bit into the game. And I've got this super powerful monster, but if I do it again and I only get like a B class, it's like getting to that point is going to be slightly more difficult.
Yeah.
So it's really difficult to plan and prepare for. Non-gacha mobile games exist. I mean, there are a few. I forget. I played one that I really liked. That was really good. And then like you have like the games like Final Fantasy Brave Exodus, which it kind of doesn't matter that it's a gacha game because like you get like set characters that are useful. As a default, it's just you get other characters that are just different flavors, basically. Which was good. I enjoyed it. I got to a point in it where it's like, okay, I can't keep sinking the time into it. Mostly because it kept killing my phone battery. So. Wee.
Yeah, this thing is way more jank than I remember. Like, it is so hard to change directions with this thing just because of, like, all the inertia that you have.
Bonus ring. Bonus ducks. Oh god. Whee!
Maybe good enough.
83.
Okay, good enough.
You earned a bronze badge. We are also almost out of time for the live stream tonight, so you know, got that going for it. All right. But yeah, so congratulations to the N64. You're 25 years old. How does it feel to be a quarter of a century old? I'm gonna keep making it sound older because it's gonna make me feel older. And like, I remember when this launched, and I'm like, oh, this is either gonna be the hot new shit or it's gonna be shit. And I honestly wasn't sure. Like, it was one of those, like...
Or, you know, to quote the anime that we've been watching, this is gonna be bad in some version of the word or another.
Yeah, if you get a chance, watch Dr. Stone. We've been watching that. It's like... Also, sections of that taken out of context are hilarious. The N64 can now rent a car with insurance. Right? Even though insurance is a scam. Oh my god.
I swear that palm tree just came out of nowhere. Good thing I got insurance.
Good thing I got... Can you rent insurance on a gyrocopter?
I don't know, let's call it Bluth.
Hey Javier, can I get insurance on a gyrocopter?
Does the insurance cover if our gyrocopter has missiles that we use to like just blow up stuff?
Why does it have missiles? In a chill game, like, why does it have missiles?
I mean, to be fair, you don't use them to blow up buildings. Use them to shoot targets.
Use them to shoot the palm trees that come out of nowhere and try to take your ass out. But yes, so yes, thank you all for tuning in. It's been a fantastic stream. We've had a lot of fun. Told a lot of weird ass stories. But yeah, I've got, I haven't put up anything in a while because it's been a long ass couple of weeks. But I've got Muramasa and Ease still going up. I do need to record more and get the, I do have some backlog that I need to get uploaded. And then I've also got a couple of vlog type videos that I want to do that I think are going to be really entertaining. And yeah, more games that I'm like, I really just want to play this now. So yeah, but did you just try to blow up the building? God, you're dark. Anyway, thank you all for tuning in. And we ended on that note as Kulik's gyrocopter strafes a town.
It's fine.
See, there's no damage to the building. But yes, next month there'll be all spoopy games for the 4 live streams that we'll be doing that month. So, what?
Just a little bit, Jake.
Just a little bit. So yeah, stay tuned for some spoopy games, and yeah, we'll see you all next week. So till then, later everyone. Bye, boys.